Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu kutiba alaikumus syiyam kama kutiba alal ladzina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Okay, we are in the end of the month of Shawwal. Yeah? After last month, we together enjoying the month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan. And now the blessed month of Ramadan already began. And now also the Ramadan is no longer with us. Then now we should proposing question for ourselves, of course. The question is, are we succeed with the Ramadan? Yeah, are we succeed with the Ramadan? And how to know that we are succeed or not? Yeah, this question not for other people, but this question, we're proposing this question for ourselves. So we can do contemplation and we can do evaluation for our deeds, for our good deeds, and for our life. Yeah, something like that. So how we know that we are succeed or not during the Ramadan? To know that, of course, one of the signs that we are passing Ramadan with succeed is what we have after Ramadan, compare with what we have before the Ramadan. Yeah. So after Ramadan, if you feel that you have better situation, you have better amal, you have better deeds, you feel that your amal increasing compared with before Ramadan, then maybe that is the sign that you are succeed with the Ramadan. Otherwise, be careful, because the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in one hadith, "Kam min sha'im aw rubbama sha'im laysa lahu min shiyamihi illa al-ju' wal 'atas." Unfortunately, there are so many people committing or doing the fasting during the Ramadan. Unfortunately, they didn't get anything from the fasting, from the Ramadan, except only two things. The first one is feeling thirsty and feeling hungry. Only that, thirsty and hungry and nothing more. And this is not only few, but a lot of people who committing the fasting during the Ramadan only get this compensation, only feel thirsty, only feel hungry, but unfortunately they didn't get anything more than that. Yeah. So the first thing, maybe we are succeed. The second thing, maybe we are fail. Okay. But back to our question, how we know we are including in which category? Are we succeed or we fail? Okay. So one, the parameter to know or succeed is to evaluate ourselves whether we have something better or not after Ramadan, if we compare with before Ramadan. So this is talking about consistency and steadfastness. Yeah, consistent and steadfast. How we consistent with our deeds, our good deeds. Yeah, and how we steadfast with our amal. Yeah. But I want to remind you, firstly, of course, don't be sad. Yeah, don't be sad if you are losing track of your good deeds, which you have successfully established in Ramadan. You cannot compare your deeds after Ramadan with activity or good deed during Ramadan. It's too heavy, because during Ramadan we have all of good situation, we have all of the support to do or to committing good deeds. But what we can do is just comparing after and before. Yeah, after and before. If we try to push ourselves more than our capacity, we worry that will be hyperactivity, and we worry that we get overwhelmed. Yeah, and in Islam that is not good at all. Yeah, because there is one hadith. Talking about this one, narrated by Aisha radhiyallahu anha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in this hadith recording in Sahih Bukhari and also in Sahih Muslim, that Aisha anha mentioned once upon a time, the Prophet ﷺ come to the Aisha anha, while at that moment there is a woman who's sitting with the Aisha. And the Prophet ﷺ asking Aisha, who is he? Yeah, man hadihi? Then the Aisha reply, qalat fulana. Fulana mean how we mentioned last time. We didn't mean we didn't say the true name, but it's someone. This someone. Tadhkuru min salataha. He mentioned salatiha. Sorry, tadhkuru min salatiha. He mentioned about his praying, that what she did is like doing like excessive praying. And surprisingly, what the Prophet ﷺ mentioned about this woman, Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned, "Alaikum bima tutiqun, wa wallahi la yamallullahu hatta tamallu." Yeah, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Do good deeds which is within your capacity, without being overtaxed, as Allah doesn't get tired of giving reward, but surely you will get tired." And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, وَكَانَ أَحَبَّ الدِّينِ إِلَيْهِ مَا دَامَ عَلَيْهِ صَاحِبُهُ. This is I think the part of the best advice from the Prophet ﷺ. وَكَانَ أَحَبُّ الدِّينِ إِلَيْهِ. You should know that the best deed or the best act of worship in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ma dama alayhi sahibuhu, is something which is done regularly, even small. Yeah. So it's better for you to committing something small, good deeds, yeah, good deeds, small good deeds, but you do it regularly. You do it continuously. Compare then if you do something, maybe big things, a huge thing in good deeds, of course, but you just do it temporarily. So the better, the best amal in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is you do something continuously. You do something regularly, even though there's a small thing. So this is the most important thing, what we should know. Yeah. So the most important thing is try after Ramadan, you keep one amal, at least one amal, at least one good deed, which is you easy to do that and you love to do that, and try to keep it regularly. Try to keep it continuously. Maybe it's related to reciting Quran every day, or maybe you easy to wake up in the night to do the prayer, the prayer of night, or maybe tahajjud or tarawih. Or maybe you do, for you, it's easy for you to give sadaqah every day, charity every day. Or maybe for you, for other of you, it is easy for you maybe it's difficult to do ibadah, I mean, the formal ibadah for praying and so on. But you easy to help people every day. Or even you just do smiling every day. You try to meet people. You didn't meet people except you try to smile with them. Especially the people who you know about your friend or your relative or so on. Yeah. So try to have at least one. This the result of the Ramadan. Try to keep at least one amal. Let's say this is small or maybe something bigger than that. You should have one amal, which is you easy to do that and you love to do that, and try to keep it regularly. Try to keep it continuously. What we call in Islam istiqamah. Yeah, having one amal and you istiqamah with this amal. Yeah, you try to keep it and you try to make this amal become your regular activity, daily regular activity. Okay, so that's the first thing. How we know that we are succeed during the Ramadan if we have at least one additional good deeds, which this deed we keep it as a regular activity after the Ramadan. Now, in practical way, okay, what we can do? Okay, you can choose one or two or maybe more than that, or more of this. But I will talk about one by one what we can do after Ramadan to make sure that we are be part of the succeed, the people who succeed passing the Ramadan. Okay, the first thing, of course, for you who have missed some days of the fasting, especially for Rania maybe, because for women, you know, you have some period time when you cannot do ibadah because you have regular situation. For you who miss the fast of Ramadan, maybe 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, or 2 weeks, and so on, try to schedule it and try to replace it. Yeah, you should have a planning when I should doing the fasting, which is I miss. Yeah, that's the first thing. For you who already complete the fasting of Ramadan, there is one additional fasting which is very special. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned, "Man soma Ramadan," whoever committing succeed doing the fasting of Ramadan, summa atba'ahu sitta min Shawwal, then he continued this with 6 days during the month of Shawwal, kana kasiyamud dahar. Then he it seems that he doing it's similar with he or she doing the fasting during the year. Like you know, the easiest way to understand this hadith, you know, in Islam, whenever or whatever you committing good deeds, Allah will give you compensation at least 10 times. Yeah, one good deeds, Allah will give you like reward at least 10 times. And we know the day of Ramadan is 30. So 30 multiplied by 10 will be 300. Okay. Then if you give more additional fasting 6 days during the Shawwal, then you just, the easiest way, you multiply 6 with 10, it means 60. 60 plus 300, so 360, and 360 equal with 1 year in Islamic calendar. You know, Islamic calendar, the number of Islamic calendar is 10 days less than the normal calendar we have. Yeah, in normal calendar we have 1 year equal to 165, but in Islamic calendar we only 1 year just consists of 355 days. So when you completing fasting during Ramadan and then you continue, the Prophet said, you continue with 6 days during the Shawwal, so you will get reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you committing similar with you committing the fasting during the year. Yeah, so 1 year full. Okay, that's the second thing. I don't know, maybe some of you already finishing your Shawwal fasting, or maybe you're still working on it, and we have still, I don't know, maybe 5 days more for the Shawwal. For you who not already finished this Som Shawwal, the fasting of Shawwal, you can finish inshallah in 5 days. Okay, that's the second thing. So completing your Ramadan, and the second thing, try to committing the Som of Shawwal. That's the second. The third thing, we talk about during the Ramadan, we already trained to do Qiyamul Layl by Tarawih, by Witir, and so on and so on. Now, after Ramadan, try to have this, try to keep this activity at least, yeah, at least try to committing Witir before sleep, because maybe this is the easiest one. Yeah, try to committing Witir before sleep. Or because now in Europe, you live in situation where the time of Maghrib and Isha is very late, you can do it directly after you finishing your Isha time, your Isha prayer. So you close. In Belgium, if you know, we have a fatwa from EMB, Executive Muslim Belgium. the organization of ulama in this country. That we during the summer, start from May, June, and July, we can regrouping the prayer of Maghrib and Isha, what we call it as Jama' Ta'dim. Okay, we do the prayer of Maghrib and Isha in one time, or we call it Jama' Ta'dim, regrouping, early regrouping. Yeah, so you can check in the schedule which released by EMB. So you can combine Salatul Maghrib, and then after that you directly do the Salatul Isha. Of course, it is sunnah to have between these two salah with iqamah. And then after that, you close your prayer by praying sunnah for Isha, 2 rak'ah, and then you can close with Salatul Witr. If you want, you can do it 3 rak'ah Salatul Witr, or you can only do 1 rak'ah Salatul Witr. Yeah. So Maghrib, continue with Isha, continue with Salat Ba'da Isha, Salat Sunnah Ba'da Isha, 2 rak'ah, and you can close with 3 rak'ah of Witr. It is the easiest one for, I think it's the easiest one for you who live in Europe for during the summer. Yeah. That is the way how we keep our habit during the Qiyamul Layl during the Ramadan. But if you can wake up early, at let's say at 3 a.m. before the Fajr time, it is better for you to committing the witr after you sleep. Yeah, because you can put more prayer by doing tahajjud first, and then you close it with the witr. And also 2 rak'ah before the Fajr, because you know, Rasulullah mentioned in one of hadith, that Salatul Sunnah Fajr, yeah, the prayer of Sunnah of Fajr before Salatul Subuh. If you committing this 2 rak'ah, the Prophet mentioned, khairum minad dunya ma fiha. This is the this 2 rak'ah before Fajr is better than whole of this dunya of this world, and wa ma fiha, and everything inside of this world. The value of 2 rak'ah before Fajr is much better than whole of the world and whatever you have in this world. Yeah. Okay, that's the third thing. Try to committing Qiyamul Layl. At least try to committing witr before you sleep. Yeah, 3 rak'ah witr before you sleep. Yeah. If not, maybe 1 rak'ah witr before you sleep. That's better. Okay, that's the thing. The fourth thing, what we can do during the Ramadan, we are trained we were trained to reciting the Quran regularly. So maybe after Ramadan, you can keep this habit by trying to recite Quran, maybe 1 page per day or half page per day. That's okay. But you try to do it regularly every day. Yeah. For you who can't read Arabic very well, maybe you can switch by listening. Try to listening murattal every day, at least maybe half page. The most important thing is the regularity. Yeah, the continuity. That's the most important thing. Because in back to our previous hadith, Allah loves if you do good deeds, even small, but you do it continuously, regularly. Then if you do a good deeds, a big good deeds, or great good deeds, great amal, but temporarily. So Allah more love if you do it small but continuously. Okay, reciting the Quran every day, at least maybe half page or maybe 1 page every day, maybe after Maghrib or after Asar or maybe after Fajr, after Subuh. Whatever you want, which one is the easiest for you, try to have this habit, to keep this habit. Okay, that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing, what you can try, you can choose between this activity or maybe you can do more of them. The fifth thing, try to keep the habit charity, to give charity. Yeah, because during the Ramadan we are trying to give more and more in charity, especially zakah, right? There's the obligation one, zakah. But also you are encouraged to do sadaqah. Yeah. So after Ramadan, try to keep this habit. Yeah, maybe if you can do it daily, it's better to do it daily, or at least you can do it weekly. During the Jum'ah, yeah, special the day in Islam, during the day of Jum'ah, you try to give charity. Yeah, maybe only 50 cents, 1 euro, or maybe you try to only food and so on, but you try to keep this habit. Yeah, whatever you can give, try to give it. Okay, that's the 50. And also try to engage more in dhikr, dhikrullah, because this is the source of calmness. Allah subhanahu mentioned in the Quran, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. You should know that the only way to get calmness in your heart, to get peace in your heart, the truly peace in your heart, by dhikrullah, by remembering Allah. The more you remember Allah, the more you try to remember Allah in your daily activity, the more you will get peace in your chest, your heart. Yeah. And Allah mentioned in the Quran, Allah, the only way, I only give one way to get the true calmness, to get the true peace in your chest. And this way is dhikrullah. Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'inul qulub. If you want get peace in your chest, you want get peace in your heart, you feel calm in your activity, in your daily, in your study, and so on and so on. So try to more and more remembering Allah, dhikrullah. Yeah, you can do the dhikrullah after prayer, maybe by mention subhanallah 30 times, alhamdulillah 30 times, Allah Akbar 30 times, or maybe you can have a habit to give to have dhikr in the morning or in the afternoon. But the most important one is you try to keep it as habit. Okay, that is the sixth things. The seventh thing, for the fasting itself, after Ramadan, of course, there's no obligation again to do fasting, but you have like additional or sunnah to do fasting. If you can do the fasting of Isnain, Yawmul Isnain or Khamis, the day of Monday and Tuesday. Fasting Monday and Tuesday. This is part of the sunnah. If can't, you can do maybe only 3 days a month, which is what we call it Yawmul Bid, the day of the lunar month, the bright lunar month. Yeah, in the 13, 14, and 15, the calendar of Hijriah. Yeah, the easiest way to know it, when the months close to the moon, when the moon close to the full space of the moon, 13, 14, and 15, we are encouraged, we have opportunity to do fasting during these days, 3 days a month. But if you can do more, you can do fasting during Monday and Tuesday. Isnaini wa Khamis. Some Isnain, some Khamis, or fasting Monday, fasting Tuesday. Yeah, so twice a week. But if you can't, you can try to keep habit 3 days a month. So per month, you try to fasting 3 days. And also close to the Idul Adha, we have 1 day, special day, Yawmul Arafah, the day of Arafah, in the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, a day before the Idul Adha. This, we are encouraged to do fasting at that day also. For you who don't do the Hajj, of course, to do the fasting of Arafah. And this fasting is special because the Prophet ﷺ mentioned 1 day fasting equal to Allah will forgive whole of your sin 1 year before. Yeah, only with 1 day fasting during the Arafah day. Okay, that's equal to fasting. And the rest you can do, of course, the most important thing, try to reschedule our activity based on prayer time. You know what I mean? So, okay, today, Fajr at what time, Dhuhr at what time, Asr at what time, Maghrib, Isha at what time. So you try to create activity or schedule your activity today based on the time of praying. So you try to not miss the time of praying. Yeah, because for praying, the best praying is, especially for men, there are two best way to do the praying. First, you try to do it with jama'ah. I mean, not only single prayer, not doing by lonely, but you should do it by jama'ah. You together at least with another people, and two people at least. Yeah. So do it jama'ah, with the way of jama'ah. The second thing, try do for everyone. Try to do that as early as possible. The most lovely time in doing prayer, five prayer, is the first time you listening the adhan. Yeah. So when the adhan coming, the adhan coming is the sign of the time of prayer coming. You do it directly. That is the thing. The second thing, and the third thing is try to do it for men, of course. Try to do it in the mosque. If you live close to the mosque, for Fadil maybe you can do it regularly in the mosque, because this one hadith, one of category of people who Allah will give them protection during the day of Yawmil Mahshar, the day of resurrection. One of them is a guy, a person, a man who their heart the men who their heart engaging with the mosque. Yeah, engaging with the mosque. Their feeling always related to the mosque. And one way to get this feeling is try to do your prayer in the mosque as possible as you can. If you can do it 5 times a day, that's better. But if you can't, you try to attending at least once in a day to pray Jama'ah in the mosque. Okay, that the next thing. And then try to have good habit by do not close your day except you provoking istighfar, you provoking repentance to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, because every day we committing sins. So try to close our day by more and more provoking istighfar. Yeah. Seeking istighfar, seeking forgiveness from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala by istighfar. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. The Prophet SAW mentioned in one hadith, even for him, he always do the istighfar at least in one hadith 70 times a day, another hadith 100 times a day, regularly every day. Do istighfar as much as you can. Yeah, istighfar, istighfar. Keep this habit. Okay, and then the last thing what I can propose for you, and of course for myself, is try to keep yourself, try to have community, try to always together with righteous people. Remember and be careful with whom you interact more time, you spend more time, their characteristic could be becoming yours. Yeah, who you are, it depends in one hadith. Who you are depend on who is your close people, your close community. How to say that? Best friend. Who you are in the sight of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who you are, it depends who is your close best friend, or your best friend, or your best community, the member of your closest one for you. Yeah, your best friend. Because normally best friend will influence you, and vice versa, of course. Okay, so try to have community, to have people who always remind you to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who always remind you that your life is temporary, and sometimes you will die, and sometimes you should ready to answering any kind of question, to take responsibility of every deed which you were already committed in this world. So try to have community, good community, close people, close friend who always remind you about the akhirah. Okay, so try to have good, or to choose a good community, or try to have good best friend, which is always remind you about this life, not only to enjoy this life, but how to prepare this life for the next life. I hope this suggestion is truly beneficial. It's a reminder for me first, and I pray it also give you profit. it profit you as well. And may Allah grant us satisfaction in all of ramification and make our final end or final place in our life is Jannatul Firdaus. Amin ya rabbal alamin.